Where you are, where you are, where you are. Oh, I dream just to be where you are. In a world I can see where you are. Though you are meant to be. Wish you're here next to me. Where you are. Don't wait too long. Feelings they run. I know it's hard. We'll win this time. Don't wait too long. Feelings they run. I know it's hard. We'll win this time. Need you by my side. Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time, sinking into the silence, reaching out for something you may never find, looking for a reason not to lose your mind. Feel like you're caught in a world you don't belong to, praying that you'll make it home. I know you're scared that the place you love is gone. Don't fear what you do not know. Oh, oh.
Well. Welcome everybody to Krams Korner. My goodness, we finally have it up and running. Guys, we are so excited to share this with you. Uh, well, we've just got a lot to talk about. First, I guess I'll drop it here to Henny. Henny, gonna start off the stream with me today. Hen, how we doing, sir?
Dude, I'm doing great, man, and this is freaking amazing. Our first time, Cram went crazy on this, man. This is beautiful. Nolan, when we talked about it, we talked about this, what, 5 days ago? Like, I've been
Yeah.
bringing it up, and then
Yep.
now it's here. This is what we're giving to the community, man. Like, this is crazy.
This is it, and this is an idea that we've had a lot of people come to us and ask for and say that they've wanted. Even you, when you first came in, you were like, dude, why are you not doing this? It's been a year too long. Here we are. We finally have our own Krams Corner. And by the way, let's talk about the host for a second here. Could not be anybody better than Kramsky himself, hence Krams Corner. But Kram stepped right up when he heard the availability and the option to do this sort of thing. Uh, as you guys can see, he's done one heck of a job with it. So without further ado, we are so proud to present Kramsky as the host of Krams Corner. Kram, what do you
Kram,
got for us?
get in
Oh
here.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
baby! I see you in the chat lighting up Cramless Corner, but nah, Kramsky's back, baby.
There
Let's
it
go,
is.
let's go. Thank you, Henny and Nolan. I appreciate you guys being on the show, making this thing work, and I appreciate you guys choosing me to host this bad boy. If you guys are
There's
wondering,
nobody else, man.
yeah, come on, come on. If you guys are wondering what Krams Corner is, this is the place for if you say you have a bad week, say you chug 2 or 3 gallons of milk and then go into comatose, and you wake up 1 week later and you missed all of the things going on in URL. Krams Corner is the antidote. Krams Corner is all you need to get caught up on all things URL, whether that's playoffs, whether that's a new season. We're going to be going through everything. Every Tuesday, this is where you guys are going to be. All 24 of you, you're going to tell all of your friends, be like, hey, you missed out on Krams Corner week 1. You're not going to miss week 2, right? But in this week 1, here's what we're talking about. We're going to be kicking off the 2 season with our guest Nolan. Then after that, we're going to be going over clips of the week, hosted by Anthony and Henny. After that is Threes playoffs. We're right near the end. By next Krams Corner, by next Tuesday, Threes playoffs is going to be over. So we're going to go over what's been going on and what we see in the future. And then more than that, we've been teasing this a while. Nolan's been teasing this a while. We have a new Legends format. We have a new Legends format that we are going to unveil for you guys today. So without further ado, we are gonna
Graham.
jump right. Oh wait, am I cutting someone off?
Cram, I just want you
Yeah.
to know that Hammett just came up with it. Cramskers.
Kramskers.
That is your new following, bro.
Kramskers. Wow.
Hammett
Wow.
is just done. Put it on there. You have Cramskers, bro.
Dang, bro. We'll see if it sticks. We'll see if it sticks. Nolan, you ready?
Absolutely. Let's get things started.
We're jumping right in. We're kicking off the 2 season. Preseason has just ended, Nolan, and you have a pretty big part in 2s. First introduce yourself and your role in the 2s community.
So my name is Nolan. I'm one of the owners, one of the guys that you'll see at the top of the server every once in a while. But it also means that we are the ones who run the league, run the server, interact with all the people who are coming in and wanting to play, making sure that everything gets all sorted. Kind of just making sure that everything goes off without a hitch is really my position here in the league. It also means that I get to see everybody who gets signed to a team. I get to see all the games that come out and get put on stream. So it does give me a pretty good overall view of how the league looks, who's playing, who's winning, and most importantly, how everything's going. So
yeah.
I definitely had a big role in that sort of thing.
Fantastic. So is this what season of 2s are we on right now? This is a new season. What season are we on?
We are on season 3 of URL 2s, and this is a big one because this is our obviously our 3rd season, but
Yeah.
so much being implemented. We are literally in week 1 right now, so at the very start of it all, yeah, I mean,
Here we
to
are.
be honest
Here
with
we
you,
are.
here we are. We start on Thursday.
So give us a good old preseason recap. What's happened so far? Just a little bit. I know preseason doesn't really matter. We're about to get into the part that matters, but give us a little bit of that recap.
So preseason is going to be your first 2 weeks of your season in URL. And the reason I say season is because really we have an 8 week regular season, extravaganza that's not even 8 weeks now. But the we have preseason to kind of let you feel what a real week seems like. But at the same time, it's also a pretty good gauge for how you do with your team against other teams in your conference. There's a lot going on for preseason. So if you take advantage of preseason, it definitely does you well. Whereas some teams weren't able to play, weren't able to get that start against other teams. So
Yeah.
preseason kind of affects teams in different ways.
Okay, for sure. Now, I'm a person who's only been in threes, Nolan. Twos, from what I understand, has a couple more franchises. Tell us a little bit about how that's been going.
So we've got completely different franchises in twos. In fact, you'll see none of the same in twos or threes, with the exception of the same named team being the Pirates. We've got a Pirates in twos and threes. But aside from that, we've got different GMs, we've got different players, we've got a completely different thing going on over here. And that's kind of the idea of twos and threes being separate, but we'll get into that later. For right now, we've got different franchises. We've got more franchises. We've got 4 more franchises in twos than we have in threes. So you've got a little bit of a bigger, league size, a couple more players. For the most part, each team, setup is similar. The GM, you've got your AGM. Things work pretty similarly. We've got a different kind of storyline going on over here in twos. In threes, we've got different teams, big names, big GMs, all these things that are going on. In twos, we've got some different names. We've got some serious rivalries. We've got teams who are, just out at each other's throats at all times. I guess to go into some of those big names.
Let's jump into the rivalries, Nolan. Let's go.
Oh, boy. The biggest one that stands out has to be the Trout and the Cobras. That's an all-time classic. These two teams every single season have a finals against one another or some ridiculous feud of game or something along those lines, but that's always a big one. Your big players, your Cobras have taken home multiple championships now. The Trout, multiple championships to their name. Even names like the Peaks. My goodness, the Elk, the Menaces. Clearly they're peaking, but just those 3 names also, bring a big preference and a big, feel to the league. These teams have been doing well for so many, every single game, every single season they come to compete. So. It's a different feel.
Yeah, real quick. Hey, if you're in the chat right now and you're currently signed to a twos team, go ahead and light up. What twos representation do we have in the chat right now? So if you're currently signed to a twos team, go ahead and say what league you're in, contender, legend, etc., and then the team you're signed to. I want to see if we got any in the chat. While they're doing that, Nolan, what else? So you got the Trout. Any players, any draft notes? Because the twos draft just happened recently.
So twos draft did happen. I won't lie to you. I've been really invested in threes recently. So some of these rosters,
I know a little bit about that. Yeah.
Some of these rosters I'm not 100% certain on or are still being updated, still being figured out. It is that first week. There's a whole lot of drops. Rosters are still being finalized. So there are a couple big names that always come to play. Bry being one of them. We saw him yesterday in threes. We'll get into that later.
Me and Nolan saw him, and it was not a good sight.
We saw him real well.
I couldn't sleep last night. Oh, it was bad.
Woke up in a cold sweat. That dude, Bride, just does it to everybody. He's done it in twos before in an absolute Cinderella run. He did it in threes last night and the night before. If he continues to do it, he's going to have one of the greatest stories URL's ever going to be able to tell about players and Cinderella runs and just overall great players. But, Bry needs to be one of those players. I think you've got a couple of other little rivalries. Elk Menaces, like I said, Cobras, Trout, Elk. The other big one that I would say and add would be the Pandas and the Rodeo. We've got 2 of our lovely GMs who completely, all the time, are on top of their stuff.
All right.
2 good teams.
Yeah, in our chat, we got I Am Alyssa B at Texas Rodeo, Henny's World on Elk, who's at CJ Godzilla on the Aces. Nice. And who's that? Ben Pye on Delaware Demons. Krim on he's an ex-Cobras GM, but now he's a Trout player. Go off, all right. Just P's on West Virginia Grasshoppers. Is that a real Grasshoppers? That's what you
Whoa,
chose?
whoa.
Grasshoppers?
Excuse me, that's my team. I got the Grasshoppers. Do not make fun of the Grasshoppers. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry. Okay, that was. I didn't mean to.
Yo.
Hey, Grasshoppers. I hope the players are better than the mascot, and based on the mascot, they have to be, man. No, I'm just kidding. Big Moose is on the Monarchs. Jesse's on Detroit.
Wow.
Detroit. What is it? Detroit. Oh man.
Detroit.
What's the mascot for Detroit?
We don't have a Detroit.
Oh well, never mind then. Jesse,
Maybe we do now.
Jesse just got me then, I guess. I don't know. Oh my goodness. I appreciate you guys engaging in chat. Absolutely. Now, Nolan, we've been friendly so far. Now it's time to put the line in the sand. Who's winning? Who's winning Contender? Who's winning Ultimate? Who's winning All-Star and Legends?
Okay, all right. I won't lie to you. I didn't make the way too early predictions for 4.5 months from now, but I do have a couple of big names, a couple of teams that I've specifically soloed out to kind of really probably take the reins in each one of their leagues in respectfully.
Wait a second. Krim in the chat says, how many bits for y'all to choose Trout? How many bits would it take?
How many bits for us to choose Trout? Well, I hate to say it, they're a main character, if not the main character.
Oh, okay.
So you don't really need a whole lot of bits. You just need a little plot armor, and that's it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go into this right here. So far, as of preseason and, kind of coupled with knowing that these teams are going to do well, we got a couple of different teams that I'm looking at here. I'm going to go 1 in Ultimate. I'm going to go 2 in All-Star, and I'll give you 3 in Contender. That work?
All right. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Legends had negative information as for preseason to be expected. The Legends guys aren't interested in playing in that. They know how this works. But I wanted to start in Ultimate, and we're going to start in Ultimate with the Ultimate Boston Knights. Now,
Boston Knights, okay.
I know I am affiliated with the Boston Knights, but it truly is not the reason why I chose this team. They looked great. Preseason, they went 6-1, which means they won their 2 games, only dropped 1 game.
Dang.
In that roster, you're going to be able to credit Noof, Chunky, CPL Chunky, my apologies, Sub-Zero, and Chiefr God, who unfortunately I believe has been moved to either reserve or off the team.
Sub-Zero making waves in 2s as well. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Always is.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, so that's my Ultimate. For All-Star, I've got the All-Star London Cobras and the All-Star St. Louis Hydras.
Okay.
I've got the Cobras because they went 6-0 in preseason.
Shoot.
Did not drop a game.
All right.
And the Hydras dropped 2 games, but they won both of their games. So, those rosters are going to be crazy. I know everybody knows Frog on the Hydras. Ivante and Kizai both going to be right there. And on the Cobras, we got the real Shadow, Beans or Requavius, and then Nick. So 2 stacked rosters there for you. I've got some contender ones for you now.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to give you the 3 names rather than the players as well.
For sure.
But I think your 3 teams that you're looking at for contender right now at the very least are going to be the Montana Menaces, who went 6-2 in the preseason, won both of their games. The Philadelphia Pride, which, by the way, I've not been able to say that name yet correctly, or really for much of the playoffs, because they used to be the Cherries, and the Cherries unfortunately did not usually have a whole lot of spots towards the top half of the scoreboard. So nice to see them winning right here. They went through preseason 6-4, a couple more losses, but they did get both of their wins. And then again, returning the St. Louis Hydras for contender, they ended up going 6-3, got both of their wins. And they looked good. I'm excited for that roster.
Okay. So if you're watching right now and your name was named, then you kind of got a target on your back now. No one just put that target on your back because you are the people to beat for sure. We've got the top couple teams going into regular season, and we're gonna get to start to see those games. Nolan, when are those games starting?
Those games are actually, one of them has already been played. To be honest with you.
What?
Not one of these teams, but we've already had a game be played for this season. Technically, the season starts on Thursday. That's when you guys will be able to play your games into Monday. Anywhere from that Thursday to Monday timetable is going to be when you guys are all good to start scheduling, you schedule your games beforehand. That's when you play your games. Pink Puppy Paws and the Maryland Pirates and the Vermont Owls contender game has already been played. Itching to get that one out of the way, so we've technically already started our season.
Sweet. All right. Absolutely, Nolan. I want to give you a chance for closing thoughts on twos. This is a brand new two season. This is two season 3, baby. URL's been around so long. We got a season 3. Let's go. So, anything new about this season to expect for twos?
I think there's going to be a lot to kind of expect for twos this season. You know, this is a completely different format than we have over in threes right now in terms of, you know, league schedule, league play, league information. And more importantly, it's different than how we've done it in twos recently. So there's going to be a whole bunch of changes, the addition of the salary caps, trades, future draft pick trades. We could see a couple of those go in the middle of the season for players that are doing really well this season. Remember, you can gamble away your next year's season on this season.
Wow.
So there's a lot that you can kind of do. There's going to be moving pieces that we haven't seen before, in addition to some great action in twos and just everything that comes with being in the two server. So I'm expecting some great things, some new things, but certainly some good old things that we know we love.
Man, that is awesome. I know the season is going to be better having you around, Nolan. You're a wonderful director, owner, etc. People don't even know all the things you do, but having you on the show has been great. I appreciate what you've added to the server as a whole.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm really glad that we're able to make this much of an effect on people, give them something to do, give them something to watch. I mean, we got a product right here that isn't even the product that we're most proud of offering this community. So it just goes to show how much you guys motivate us to be able to, give back and do these things that you guys love so much. So absolutely, Krim. And as I look over at the stream, it seems that the timer is done. What do we got?
The timer's done. Next on the list is Clips of the Week, represented by our new guests, Henny and Anthony. We're going to jump over to them right now.
What is up, big dogs, ladies and gents, boys and girls of all ages of URL? How you doing? You saw me last night. You saw us last night. What is good, Mr. Hetty?
Not too much. And we having a good time over here, man. This is awesome. Kram, you were doing fantastic. Nolan, Kram, that was a great segment. Anthony, the real fun in this is what we get to do here. And that is look at some crazy clips, more than likely make fun of some people, and see some of these guys go off.
I'm always down for making fun of some people. I mean, I have no issues with that whatsoever.
I love making fun of people, man. Everybody knows this. You don't just tune in to watch me, cast something. You tune in to watch me make fun of somebody. And that's what I'm excited to do right now.
It's absolutely fair. That's fair. All right.
Man, go ahead, send us into it, brother.
Ends where it starts, where it dies. I mean,
the end is never.
The end is never. And oh my goodness,
The end is
now! The end is now. It's Storm.
The end is never.
Puts it in. The Storm. Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
goodness. Braving
I'm
the
sorry.
Storm. The Miners couldn't do it. The Storm gets to them, knocks them out. Fortnite, not.
Colors looking fluorescent right now. TBS stream.
Look, that's a great clip for Contender. You gotta love it. There we go. First one we're making fun of last night as Nolan got destroyed, was left in tears, went home crying to his mom. Own goals, first goal.
It was so perfect.
First game.
We were talking about it earlier in the night, trying to guess how many times he would do it, and immediately, but within the first 15 seconds of the game, he knocks one right in off of a pass. It was beautiful. This next one is going to be a Contender's Gold Miner buzzer beater with literally mere seconds left on the clock. Master is going to just knock this one in with absolute bully mentality, pushing this one in fully, just knocking it right off his teammate's head, actually.
What was his teammate doing?
Diaz, I think, was trying to knock it up off the top of his car, if I'm not mistaken. It just so
He hit a wide open shot, and he's just trying to go under it. Like, that's a clip. That is a clip. Look at Dark going crazy. That is a clip.
Dark Galaxy is gonna knock this one up off the wall, take it, double flip it, and bump it right center, dead smack center mass. Almost freaking sharpshooting that one directly into the goal.
We got a caught clip.
A caught clip. You can't say that 5 times fast and not screw it up.
No, because if you do, it's gonna say something else, and we don't need to be saying all that. Cotney is crazy.
Beautiful
Cotney
double
is
tap
so
off the
crazy.
floor. Oh my god. All-Star Blizzard pass redirect. This is gonna be DK Tiny passing this one right in Fry, and
that's 2 from the Blizzards.
That is true. And if I'm not mistaken, this was that was a tide deterring match. That game,
Oh,
that game was
200
very-
IQ pass. I don't know if I'm gonna give that a 200 IQ pass. I mean, good for two. It's good. It's a great pass.
It was an
You know,
IQ
Phenom
pass.
looks good, but 200 IQ. Come on now. That boy was trying to put the ball in the net. He wasn't going for the pass.
Infield shot turned into an infield pass. But hey, it's contenders, so it's not something you really see all the time. And J.K. Frost is gonna double tap him right off the backboard.
This is Frost. This is what Frost does. Just
Frost.
puts it right on his back. Jeez.
Just chilling.
He
the
said, "I'm
entire-
daddy now."
Oh.
In
LGG
contender?
LGG going with a double tap for the contenders team, for his contender. Not something you see very often with a contender. Not only that, but he threaded the needle too.
Dude, that's a
two
clip. That
defenders.
is a contender clip right there. And not only is that a contender, that was a clip. That was awesome. There were some great clips. But we have to choose one, Anthony. And I think there's out of all those, there's 3 of them.
I would have to say 2 out of those 3 are definitely going to be one of those two blizzards.
Yes.
goals.
I think I want to give it to Nolan for the own goal in the first 15 seconds of the game, but we can't do that because that's just making too much fun of Nolan. He's already had a hard week.
I agree. I feel like that'd be a biased opinion, considering we hang with him quite often. It'd be a biased opinion.
Yeah, but
if
I'm
we're-
gonna say that last one for a double tap like that for the contender. I honestly am very hype about that. That was a great clip for a contender, and I mean just the skill it takes at that point is huge.
Yep, especially with the positioning of the defense at that point.
Yeah.
Just threading the needle like they did, shooting right up between that ball and the back wall. I would agree. That
Yeah,
last contender clip was
I'm
the
saying
one.
best clip is the contender clip right there at the end.
100%. I'd have to agree. All right, so as you guys saw yesterday, the threes playoffs has been blasting our threes league as of recent. Next, we're gonna have that's gonna be our topic with Mr. Nolan. And what was the? Hold on one second before I forget exactly what I was talking about. Our threes topic speakers are going to be Mr. Nolan and Kram.
All right, boys. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Henny. Y'all are the best, right? I swear, right? I don't know how much money we're paying for you, but I think we're gonna have to pay a little bit more. We gotta get a little
This
pay
is
raise.
free. This is free, Cram.
How about we get? You know
Before
what? Just
you
for
guys
that.
go into that, because now I get to see Nolan's big head right there. Nolan, how are you feeling, man? How are you feeling about being on the clip for the week?
Well, personally, I actually went and found those clips, so
No one
That's
bit the bullet with that one.
a little bit. Listen, it's
God,
all about the content.
We
all right?
love you for it.
It's the best part. As soon as I own gold, I was like, wow, there really is just no better start than this to anything.
No,
No.
that was straight Nolan's way of entering the match. I'm gonna give you one. Here you go.
Oh man, that's yeah.
You know
Congrats
me.
to Nolan. I remember being there, and we were all kind of stunned, but not surprised. Stunned, not surprised, because I mean that's what Nolan does best. And though Nolan's text box says Crow on the screen, it is not Crow. It is actually Nolan. I just want to address that little. Yeah. Oh wait, maybe it is Crow. I don't know.
I can be the crow.
No, before we before we jump into the threes playoffs, there was something that on the last slide that we want to talk about, and that's the possibility of a freestyle tournament.
Oh,
What's up with that? What's up with that?
I'm sorry. Did someone say freestyle?
Did someone say
tournament?
freestyle tournament? What's going on?
No, that's what I think I heard. Yes, wanted to confirm that. We had plans to make a freestyling tournament with some serious freestyling production for Halloween, for our Halloween celebration. Unfortunately, if we wanted to do this the right way and really make it look as good as we wanted it to, this is going to have to be more of a fall occasion more than it is going to be a Halloween occasion. And, that comes with all the other big things we've been implementing recently. We've got a lot going on right now. Directors are working day in, day out. We are in VCs trying to figure out what's next for URL, how we want to build this up and what we want to do. So this has certainly not been at the top of the priority list, but it is something we are planning on doing. We want to gauge interest. We want to see if anybody would be interested. I'm not personally a freestyler. I don't personally respect freestylers, but I would love
Neither
to watch
does
a
Psionics.
freestyling
Neither
tournament.
does Psionics, to be honest, bro. I mean, we're not gonna get into that now, right? So we're not that kind of talk show. But yeah, so it's not
Right.
it's not a kind of thing where you can go in and submit your trash clips, because we know we got a lot of trash cans in the chat. Trash cans, let me hear you. If you know you're a trash can in the chat, let me hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah, baby. Did you see the clips? No. It's not gonna be a clip submission thing. It's going to be like an in the moment performance kind of thing, and it's going to be kind of invitational based. Part of it's going to be open, but by the time we get to the point where there's a cash prize and stuff like that, it's going to be a very specific set of people. So if you think you have what it takes to be a competitive freestyler, then reach out to Nolan, reach out to Henny, because we want to make this happen. I think there's enough people out here who enjoy freestyling that we can make this a reality.
I mean, let us know, because the alternative is if we don't have enough people, then like I have to go out there and start freestyling,
see that.
and
You don't wanna
nobody
see that.
wants that. Nobody wants
I
that.
mean, I kind of want it, but like, I'm
You know-
legally obliged to say I don't. I can't, you know?
Right, all right, I got you. We might see one. It'll be content. It'll
Back
be
to
content.
threes
Let's move it there.
playoffs. Threes playoffs. Nolan,
Let's go to threes.
The three season is coming to an end, and part of my heart breaks, but part of my heart is happy to finally move on from such a chaotic season. You personally, we'll start on a personal note, Nolan. How are you feeling about your last threes season?
It certainly is unfortunate that that's how that one's gonna go. I did tell my Angels crew that this season was gonna be my last season, at least playing. I want to preface that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll still be managing. I'll still be helping out commissioner duties for URL, doing everything I normally do on the management side. Playing wise, definitely gonna take a step back. We found out, just making sure that somebody's open and not on a team is certainly the way that we want to progress moving forward. So I've decided I'm going to take a step back from the playing. We're going to do a little bit more management stuff. Maybe you'll catch me as an AGM somewhere next season. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But no, it's been really, really awesome playing with, the guys that we chose. I met Kramski through my threes team. That's the reason he's here doing anything right now, because we've gotten to be such good buddies. Threes has opened a lot of doors and really, shown me a lot of the guys that, I haven't really seen throughout URL. Got to meet a lot of new friends. I got to have a lot of great times. I mean, my goodness, if there's a team to go down to, it's Bry and the Blizzard and all those guys. They played a heck of a game. But I really am glad to be moving on as well. Like I said, I gained a lot from the season. I'm ready to, go out and do my thing. This was a pretty good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And from a management perspective, right? You're still an owner. You're still a director. Is this the second season of threes? Is that right?
This is our second season of threes, and next will be our third season of threes. We're not there quite yet.
All right,
but this is our
season 2 of
second
threes.
season.
How was it?
Overall, I think it's gone really, really well. We had a couple of hiccups at the beginning, some little things that we have to address in those higher up brackets of MMR, but that's all to kind of be expected. We see a lot of different changes just because we have to update, server plans and league plans so, frequently. We really need to make sure that we stay on top of addressing everything else as well. But then again, it's just there's a lot going on. Overall, I think it's been really successful, but I don't even think we've seen the most success we're going to see yet. I think the most success we see comes within the next week. We start having all these super intense matches. I mean, you felt what it was like to be in that match yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to see like 3 or 4 more of those.
Let's talk about that. Playoff narratives, Nolan. Let's start with the one we're both thinking about. All right. So Angels faced off against who last night?
The Michigan Blizzard.
The Michigan Blizzards, and it would have been smart to get a Michigan Blizzard person up here to talk about it, because it's not going to sound like a good game from our perspective, because we got squashed. It was a 4-0 sweep. It was a 4-0 sweep. But I'll be honest, being a player there, my heart was pounding, man. It was crazy. It was so much fun to be there. And I mean, I get that when I watch games sometimes, and I'll be honest, as intense as that was, I think we have more intensity to come. So let's pick out some of these narratives and predictions. Which one do you want to start with? Contender, All-Star, Ultimate Legend?
I want to start with All-Star. I think this is only true and right. The narrative here is better than it's ever been before. Only somebody who is a true script writer could have set this up, right? So let me address to you right now that the Blizzard are now the 2-time finalists from this East bracket. You have to remember that they won the whole thing last season. So they're gearing up to be able to two-peat as the Michigan Blizzard. Ryan Gav will have his all-star team win 2 finals should they win this finals. But the plot armor continues to build because on the other side of the bracket, we haven't seen this game get played yet. San Diego Rays advance over the Shanghai Samurai in their 4-0 sweep yesterday before our 4-0 sweep. Lots of sweeps yesterday, but the Samurai ultimately packing and the Rays going to advance to take on that Yetis team. So San Diego Rays taking on Alaska Yetis. There's a lot to unpack there. The Rays look pretty good, but the plot armor comes with the Yetis, right? This Yeti squad, 2 of the 3 members on it, won in contender last season on the Yetis. So now we would have the defending all-star champions going up against the literal defending contender champions. And this would be a matchup that would be absolutely crazy because of just the amount of high-octane offense. You'd have Bry, you'd have Okeanos, you'd have Cool Kid, Evo, and then Char and Yox as well. That's crazy people all on the field all at once. And that's just to say, if the Rays don't get there. But I don't know. I could see it build up that way. We'd have a very chilly finals, if you will, with the Yetis and the Blizzard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Angels getting knocked out in the semifinals was heartbreaking. The Michigan Blizzard, they absolutely deserve to be in the grand finals, though. Not only did they upset the Ohio Gorillas in the final bracket, they upset the Angels in the semifinals of the bracket. I'll be honest, bro. I was talking, everyone else was talking. It was Washington Angels and Gorillas in the semifinals, and neither of us are making it past. Michigan Blizzard, the upset kings right now, they turned around something crazy, and honestly, they got my vote of confidence going into this next part.
They've got mine too, and we'll have to crown one of them champions, but I think we have to just wait until we get to the finals to see what happens there.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I've got a personal request here. Can we go to Ultimate next?
Let's go to Ultimate.
All right.
What you got?
All right. So here's the dynamic right now, right? Pirates versus Minutemen seems to be the big game of the week that everybody's talking about for Ultimate. It's been the big game that everybody's wanted to see so far. Minutemen won last time 3-0, but the Pirates didn't have their full roster. So I have to imagine that if we see a full-powered Minutemen versus a full-powered Pirates, by the way, that's only a semifinals game in what probably should be, it will be finals intensity. I'm thinking that one of those teams, and I don't know that I can say it yet, but one of those teams is probably going to end up winning the whole thing. They will have to either go up against the Rays or the Miners, both teams which we've seen pretty good things from. A Rays team which we haven't even seen full caliber from yet, so that's going to be a big one as well. The narrative isn't here as much as it is an All-Star, but these are some big names right now. Pete, running it up on the Miners, J.K. Frost with the Rays.
Okay, don't clip that, chat. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. I'm just kidding.
It's all over for them. Didn't hear that from me. Exy said it's over. The Minutemen have got it. You've just got to remember this is in 7 now. It's a little bit of a different, series.
It's different, absolutely. So yeah, Ultimate. We're getting to the most exciting part of the season. So when you see these games get scheduled, you're like, well, I gotta cancel my doctor's appointment. Oh, my great grandmother has a funeral. Can we move it? Because I need to see these. I need to see these finals games, bro. Because you're honestly not gonna want to miss what's going on here.
Dude, I don't know that you ever will want to miss what's going on here, and you especially won't want to miss anything to have to do with Contender, because I feel like that's the one I've almost been waiting to put last. But it's not Legends, it's just Contender. It's just Contender. My fault. It's not just Contender.
Come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Listen,
let's talk about these Angels. Let's talk about these Angels. Oh my goodness.
I like a lot of what we got going on here, especially because Contender is able to schedule well. We've got both games done and ready to go. We are in our semifinals matchups. The Washington Angels and the Iceland Foxes in that semifinals down in the East bracket. we know a thing or two about that Foxes team and that
Oh,
Angels
yeah.
team. This might be a one where you might be able to allude a little something.
Maybe. The Phenom and LGG combo on Washington Angels contender team right now is unmatched. Not only did they take out the Gorillas in the quarterfinals, but they're walking into the semifinals high and nice. And the Iceland Foxes, even though they are seated higher, it's going to be a hard game against this Angels team.
Yeah. These two squads, by the way, 1-1 against each other. Angels won in a reverse sweep in the regular season. Foxes swept them 3-0 or 3-1 in the entry bracket in order to get to this game exactly. So these two teams have chemistry, and you know the Foxes just as well as I do.
That's right.
We've got Bean over there.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got Corn Dog. We've got Sleepy, and we've
They
got
make
Big
it look
Moosh.
easy. They make it look easy, bro.
They always do. I mean, with a name like Big Moosh, Bean, Sleepy, I mean, listen, these guys have your number, but potentially not the Angels' number. I don't know that yet. We're going to have to figure out in 7.
Angels and Foxes, they might be the two best teams in this bracket right now. Do you think Scorpions or Miners, if either of them have a chance to stand up against that side of the bracket?
I think you almost have it wrong. I think there's a stronger team out there on the other side of the bracket.
Who's that?
I really do think it's the Arizona Scorpions. I don't think there's a team that can beat them right now. If there's one, I'd have to go with the Angels, to be honest. I think that they've got a better way of playing just around each other. The way that they're able to find each other on those passes. You're right. LGG and Phenom on point for the games that we've seen them in. They've done one heck of a job. But yeah, I think we could definitely be seeing a Scorpions versus whoever wins Angels Foxes. I couldn't even tell you who that is right now.
Dang. All right, man. So you're not going to want to miss those games. We got some of those games coming up very, very shortly. So we'll be flashing up the schedule up here soon. But without further ado, we've got a Legends bracket to go through. And to be honest, Nolan, Legends is near and dear to my heart because watching these players dominate the pitch is some of the most entertaining Rocket League URL has to offer.
Absolutely. We come full circle here in all of our leagues with the last bracket here, the final 4. We do have significantly less teams in our Legends bracket, in our Legends division. So we do see less teams making it in total to the playoffs. The semifinal still looks the same, though. The Stallions played the Minutemen. They ended up taking it 4-2 to earn their way into the grand finals against the New Mexico Nighthawks, who, by the way, I couldn't tell you I had going to this finals game. I had the Yetis 100%. You see one tap Steph, you see Exiled, you see, I actually don't even know who the third is on that team, but you see names like that, and you start to think to yourself, how am I even going to beat this team? And then you see that they've lost, and you said, how did they beat this team? So the New Mexico Nighthawks are certainly nothing to sleep on, but this will be the Kentucky Stallions. Another trip to the finals. The Kentucky Stallions roster is Twan, Sly, and Doter. 2 of them ended up going. Yeah, you know that name. 2 of them ended up going to the finals last year and winning on the Gold Miners. So this is a return trip for Doter and Twan. Sly's first time in threes. Definitely not his first championship overall, but that game's going to be an absolute barn burner. I'm expecting big things from it.
Woo. All right. So, Nolan, this is where push comes to shove. We're choosing champions right here. Contender, I'm flashing the bracket on the stream. Who's going to win Contender in Threes Season 2?
Oh, my goodness. I'm like a bad team member if I don't choose the Washington Angels here. So I'm going to give 2 answers, right?
Okay.
I do think that the Angels can win it. I think they need to make sure that they continue to put in the time. And they have to, start step by step. They can beat the Foxes. I do think the Angels will win it. I do think they can win it. If I have to put up another team into that grand finals, though, it's going to be the Scorpions. It's going to either be the Angels or the Scorpions for me. But I have the Angels going. I'm all in on the Angels. LGG and Phenom. Those are my guys.
Okay, absolutely. So, I mean, if I'm going to make a prediction as well, I'm a little bit biased. But I'm not biased because I'm on the Angels franchise. I'm biased because I've sat in on some of the Contenders Angels practices. No one practices more than Angels Contender. No one. No one in All-Star, no one in Legends, no one in Ultimate. I tell you what, Dak and his team on the Contender Angels, no one can stand up to them. They've got the longevity, they've got the practice, the experience. They're taking home the finals for Contender.
I like that. That's a big prediction. And even Phenom told me that same thing. He's like, listen, I see it. This is what's going to happen. All right.
Now on to All-Star. Who's winning it, Nolan?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, this is a little bit of an easier prediction here. The Michigan Blizzard have already gotten into the grand finals. I'm gonna post here. I think it's gonna be the Alaska Yetis taking on the Michigan Blizzard, and the plot armor defends the Michigan Blizzard in this one. But I'm gonna go with the Blizzard here. I really, we got a taste of it. There's a team I want to win the finals. It's the team I lost to. You know what I mean? It shows that we were beaten by the best. But I do think it's the Blizzard. They've done very, very well, and I think it'll be a tightly contested match.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The grand finals are going to be like what you said, but I think the Michigan plot armors, it has a limit. It has a limit. I think the Yetis, they've been working their butts off on that side of the bracket. We haven't seen so much interaction in playoffs. In fact, like none. We've seen no interaction.
Right.
So this is like the first time we're crossing the streams of East and West. I think Yetis are taking it for All-Star.
I like that. And, still, that storyline goes up. The plot armor comes out either way.
That's right.
One team is winning, and it's going to be great.
right.
You're taking it to Ultimate here, huh?
That's right.
Ooh, all right. Listen, do you want... I wanted to see where you were going with this. Do you have any thoughts, or do you need me to go first?
This could be a hard one. And to be honest, it's a little bit of a shot in the dark for me as far as, like, Ultimate. I'm not super in tune with Ultimate, but I have seen a little bit of the Rays. Of the Rays, and that team is going to be hard to beat. Rays are definitely making it to the grand finals. If I had to choose one, San Diego Rays are taking home the championships for Ultimate.
Wow, I like that. And to be honest with you, I think that's a great pick, especially because there are players and teams and rosters that we haven't even seen from this Rays team yet. Their first round pick that we just saw in that game earlier, J.K. Frost, we saw him in clips. He actually has not played like in the season like too much. He's the first round pick. He's the first pick for this Rays team. He comes in and he performs when it's needed. That's really what matters. I gotta have to go to the other side of the bracket for this one though. I really like the Minutemen. I like what they're able to do. I like the Pirates too, but I think the Minutemen are the hotter team right now. I think they want it more. I think that they've had enough scheduling issues where they are just ready to win.
I mean, the Minutemen, that's not a light team right there. When you say that name, like, it carries some weight. So, I mean,
absolutely.
I can't completely disagree. We'll have to see this game played out. Finally, jumping into Legends, there ain't too many teams to choose from here. We got the Stallions and the Nighthawks. This is going to be the most intense game probably URL is going to see in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, I'd have to 100% agree with that, especially with the high key players that we've got here. We've got Bex, Unix, and 10-piece on that New Mexico Nighthawk squad. And again, on the Stallions, we've got our URL favorites. We've got Sly, we've got Dwoder, and we've got Twan. So, each one of those rosters is ridiculous. You think, how does one of these rosters lose? I do think it's got to be the Stallions, though. I think they're the returning team here. Sly just took home a win in twos. This is a team who knows what they're doing in the finals and is ready to go up against any team who stands in their way. The Nighthawks are good, and I'm expecting a big game, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be, a blowout in one side or the other. But I do think it'll be the Stallions.
Interesting. Stallions, they got some of my favorite players on here. Like, when I started casting for URL, man, I got some very memorable moments from the players on the Stallions. But, it's a big but, all right? It's a big but. New Mexico Nighthawks are taking it. They're taking it in 6, I say. New Mexico Nighthawks, anything can happen in Legends, and I'll tell you what, I think the Nighthawks have what it takes. Nighthawks in 6.
Wow. Okay, I'll take you on the other side. I'll take Stallions in 6.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So, we got a new playoff schedule, not a new playoff schedule, but I'm flashing on screen right now. Minutemen versus Pirates. Is that the one that got canceled, Nolan?
That is, unfortunately, the one that gets canceled. They will not be playing tonight. They'll find another time to play. We will make sure we have a stream up, and we will update you with what time that ends up being, but it unfortunately will not be scheduled for tonight.
But what we do have tonight is Gold Miners versus Scorpions Contender. You won't want to miss that. That's tonight at 9:15. So whatever you got planned tonight, go just call your friends, say, I'm not going to that party tonight. Like, I'm not going to that party. I'm watching Gold Miners versus Scorpions, right? And then tomorrow we got Foxes versus Angels Contender at 8 p.m. as well as Gold Miners versus Rays Ultimate at 9:30 p.m. I think the Foxes versus Angels, that's our semifinal match. We were talking about it. You're not going to want to miss that one, especially if the Angels are in play, So I'm a little bit biased, but you know what I mean.
I think that's probably your best game in the next couple of days. Miners Scorpions promises to be great tonight, but this Foxes Angels team, like I said, such high octane offenses. You see the chemistry. These are two teams that are, figuring it out, really, really complex in their passes and their plays and their styles. This will be a real war. I do think this will be great. And it'll definitely be streamed live, so make sure you catch it.
Absolutely. So that's pretty much the end of our stream. We've got one more thing to discuss, though. You've been teasing a little bit about it, and we have a new guest coming onto the show. Benpai, center yourself in that camera, buddy, because you are live, baby. We're talking. Yes, thank you, Benpai. Thank you, Benpai, for coming on the show. We're talking about a new Legends format. Legends, as we know it, is going to end, and a new Legends is going to be born. Benpai, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so talking over with Nolan a lot this season about what to do about Legends. We saw a lot of the matches weren't necessarily played this season, and it took a bit to really get Legends going. And we figured that there's a bit of a lack of motivations for Legends players, to show up and play. They're at the highest level of Rocket League. And to give them an opportunity, to reward them for getting this rank, we feel like maybe we can finally start hosting some tournaments and putting out a prize pool. And another thing with Legends, a lot of these players, they kind of team up and they play together. So we figured we would get rid of a draft process and get rid of, I guess, any sort of franchise and just allow it open. Teams can sign up with 5 players and play in these qualifier tournaments to advance to a 16-team main event where they have an opportunity to win a prize pool.
We're talking money, Benpai? Talking money?
Yep.
Okay.
We're talking money.
Okay, Legends players, listen up. We got money on the board now. Let's go.
Money on the board. You could win yourself some of this.
Oh, no.
And get in it. That $1 could be yours.
No, that could be yours.
It could be. But, this is a really, really, really big jump for URL. Not depending on having, a Legends League, a Legends division to play in. We think that this is a much different alternative. It's your next step in professional gameplay. This is what you watch with RLCS. This is how your pros progress. This is how they go and do tournaments. Stepping into that tournament esports field that URL kind of has going right now has really opened our eyes to how the game is played in other senses of things, and not just a draft league. Where people come in and kind of just take what's given to them, as opposed to bringing in yourself what you want to do, being able to compete at that highest level. So, really having that opportunity to showcase that, and more importantly, to them, be able to play in it is really what we were aiming for here. We think it's going to be great, completely different than what we've done before, and, excited for everything that comes new with it.
Yeah, so because there's entry fees, right, you got to pay a certain amount to enter into a tournament. That means bigger prize pools. But, we're also looking into getting sponsors to make these prize pools even bigger. But because you get to submit your own team, no salary caps. Legends don't got to worry about salary caps. Just grab your 2 best buddies, bring them into URL, have them sign up, get into the system, and then, boom, you can compete in these tournaments. But it's not just a tournament by tournament basis, as far as I understand. There's something called pre-points.
Yeah, so our idea is we have around 4 tournaments that we host. It'll be roughly equivalent to an 8-week season that Legends has already seen. And then at the end, we will invite the top 16 teams who have earned 3 points throughout each tournament they've participated in.
Oh my gosh.
And they will have the opportunity to compete for the Grand Prix Purse, which will be a top 16 team event. Maybe we have 4 groups all seeded from your pre-points, and yeah, there's going to be a pretty large prize pool for that.
We're excited.
My goodness, dude. Putting that on is going to be off the charts. Oh my goodness. That's fantastic.
Production's going to be great.
Production's going to be great, You might recruit your boy to be on there too. You might see me on there.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
What do you mean, baby?
What do you mean,
I don't
babe?
even-
It depends on how much money I'm
negotiable.
getting. I'm just kidding. No.
I think that's the only other big thing to say too. You know, I feel like a lot of people around here know this about us, but we don't deal with a ton of money in URL.
No.
If we have an opportunity to give out money, we give it all out. You know, we don't make anything doing this.
Sure, it's a
Why we're here
non-profit,
is because
non-profit.
we absolutely non-profit's the way to say it. In way less words than I said it, but we love you guys and we want to circle everything that we get right back into opportunities for you guys. So that's, you know, really what comes out of this. You know, bigger prize pool for you guys, more people go home with more money, and you know, just a small, you know, brief sneak peek for the future. There is going to be an alternative way to be able to register for these tournaments. Even if you aren't able to, you know, pay some sort of fee, you are able to join up with some sort of URL roster or through a URL team, which has some org significance to it in the future.
Okay.
I'm not going to go too far into
All right,
now.
not gonna reveal too much.
Maybe we'll do it next week. Maybe we'll do that.
Okay.
Good talk.
Maybe we'll talk about that next week in Krams Corner.
Okay.
Absolutely. Ben Pye, any closing thoughts on the topic?
Not much to say. I'm excited to share all what we have planned for next season in threes. There's sure to be a lot of exciting reveals in the coming weeks, so please tune back in every Tuesday. We'll have more events just slowly coming in for you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That has been Krams Corner. Nolan, Ben Pye, thank you guys for jumping in on this topic.
Dude, thanks so much for having us, and thanks for
thanks
doing
for
the
having
whole
us.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you guys so much, chat, for just being around. Just stick around for this whole thing. This is supposed to be the place where you come for all of your URL information. Like, if you have been missing out or just had a really busy week, this is the place to come. Every Tuesday, this is where we'll be. We're going to be bringing the best content to your ears, to your eyes. All 32 of you, you stuck around the whole time. Thank you. That's freaking awesome. And a big thanks to the team that made this happen. Guys, you can unmute and just holler out. Like, this has been awesome.
Dude, thanks so much, Kram. You're the best, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Henny,
Graham, you're
man.
amazing, man.
Thanks.
Love you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You guys are great. So this has been Krams Corner. If you thought this was great, then let me know. If you thought it was trash, let me know how it could be better. Okay? Because we're doing this 1 week at a time. The next week is going to be better than the last. If you have an idea of a segment that can be on there, feel free, just slide in my DMs. Let me know, because we're all open to ears. And this isn't about us. This isn't about Henny and Nolan. This isn't about Anthony or Kram. This isn't about us. This is about you guys. This exists to bring the community of URL together. So if you have an idea for that, let us know. This is all about you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Krams Corner. We will see you guys in 7 days. You guys have
If you thought this was trash,
yeah. If you thought
you
it
are
was
trash.
all
I'm saying.
That's all he's
You
saying.
got peak URL perfection by Kramsky, and if you think it was trash, you are just trash.
Anyways, this has been Kram, your host on Krams Corner. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. We'll see you in a week.
Lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world. Waiting for no one. We're headed straight up for the sun. They'll never notice. We'll take these cities on our own. And all I know is that we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world. Oh, I dream just to